push-ups. I want to do those every time. I watched some video that said those are like the most important things you can do, your own body weight and stuff. So I'm adding that to what I do. Yeah, it's working. I feel great today. Good conversations in the morning with people, talking recovery and music and who I would talk to if I had 1 hour to talk to. I got to thinking, somebody suggested Albert Einstein, and I thought that was a great suggestion. I've asked that question before. I don't think anybody's ever said that. That was awesome. I don't think I could talk to that guy. I'm not quite there. I mean, I could listen to him, but I don't think I could engage. Or maybe I just don't give myself enough credit, but that's a cool suggestion. It says a lot about the person who suggested it, or at least said they would. Which is cool. I like asking questions. I feel like you get to know people when you ask questions. It's like in my line of work, we ask questions. And those questions are not designed to sell a car, but to get to know somebody. Now, I learned a long time ago that the person who is asking the most questions is controlling the conversation. And I don't want to be that. Even though that's important, it's in my line of work. I want to be asking questions so I can get to know somebody. Because getting to know people is what it's all about. All these conversations. I love conversation. Somebody asked me, or I asked them what makes them smile, and I realized a good conversation makes me smile. I like that better than a funny movie, or, I mean, it's up there with a song, but I love a good conversation. When it's two people listening to each other, valuing their opinion, and both of them wanting to be heard and engaging. I've learned how to have a conversation now. I always considered myself a conversationalist, and I'm not. Well, I wasn't. I was good at digging for information. I'm still good at that, but now it's like I just want to get into a person's mind and their heart and do the same for them. Whoever I run across, male, female, doesn't matter, homeless, somebody who's not in recovery. Just really curious about people and what makes them tick. Everybody has a wonderful story, I believe that. And they all have something to share. Some people don't want to share it. So I try not to dig to those, because it's not my job to dig that out of people. But if somebody's engaging with me, I want to know. Now it's taken a whole new direction, because there's billions of people on this planet. Millions. I don't know about maybe there's billions. I don't know. I don't care about the number. It's just a lot. If I could have a 15-minute conversation with everybody on the planet, I wouldn't make it. But wouldn't that be cool? Just a nice conversation with somebody, not trying to gain anything from them, not trying to give anything to them. Just a conversation where there's no ulterior motive behind it. And it's more than just, hey, how are you? So yeah, expand my level of communication with people. I really enjoy it. Because I'm on social media now, I get plenty of people who reach out to me. And what was cool is at first I thought it was all like catfishing and this and that, and bots and this and that. And I was coming out of the fog of paranoia and all that stuff, so I wasn't quite ready for it. But like anything that's unknown, we don't learn how to do it unless we dive up in that. Look at that, I haven't cussed once. But yeah, that's kind of what I like. I mean, it's what I do for a living. Every single person I run across, we have a conversation. And I don't ever want it to be like I sell them the car and then disappear. It hasn't been like that in a long time, but now I can apply the things that I'm doing on my social media to my work, to my recovery, to my work, from my work to my recovery. Just like a full cycle, full circle of just wanting to be of service to people. And I'm in a good place today. Wonderful place today. I've worked through some things this weekend was amazing. It was my favorite Mother's Day since my mother passed. It's my favorite. This weekend was my favorite Mother's Day weekend I've had since my mom passed. Not to take anything away from my kids' moms or any of that, but I don't have to be sad about it anymore. I was able to let that go through the weekend, and I wasn't sad this weekend. I wasn't prepared to how it was going to be, but I was, because I'm working recovery. Working a step leading into the weekend was important. So we work steps. There's a green and gold book. You know, if you've never heard of this thing, Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, and most people have. There's 12 steps, and when we work them, there's a booklet with 100 questions or 150 questions, and you answer them all, and you do it as honest as you possibly can. I have this tendency to want, for perfection and want to really just say the right thing, and I'm learning that you just do it, and you just, in your mindset, you look up to your higher power and say, please help me with this, and then you just do it, and it comes out. Not everybody has to read that. Not everybody's going to read that, but your sponsor will, and so will you. And so my intention isn't my sponsor, even though that my sponsor's going to do it. When I'm worried about what he's going to think, I'm not going to answer them right. But when I just answer them like it's just, I'm doing it. And I think doing these videos is helping me with that. I was able to answer it, and then I uncovered some stuff that I didn't think I had, like a resentment. I was lying to myself. There was a resentment. There's not anymore. I was able to release it by writing it down and putting it in paper and letting it out there. Now I don't have that. Now I can have this sense of more appreciation towards it, and still know my part in it, and I think that's important in this self-discovery of wanting to not only stay clean but be a better person. And so, yeah. And then just talking to people. I was talking to somebody yesterday that shut down that whole paranoia thing for me. It's great. They said, I hate hearing this shit. And I thought to myself, why am I doing this? And it really reminded me of in the 4 agreements, there's one thing that says, don't assume anything. And it's like I've read that for years now. Years. Like I've read that book for 5 years now, off and on. Listen to it on YouTube. It's funny how you can read something and then you just it finally clicks in the context of something else. Just like when I figured out why I was getting loaded, like what was a big determining factor, caring about what other people think. Even the PTSD of what I thought people thought through the week. And so it's cool how I can uncover these things. And don't assume anything. Ask the question. When they give you the answer, take it as gold. Done. I like that. I like that so much. It really helped me. I don't think they realized what they were doing there. But talking to people that will call you out on your shit, I'll use that cuss word, that are, they're good within themselves enough to say to somebody without worrying what they're going to feel or think. Those are the type of people I want in my life. Not for any type of exchange of anything other than, hey man, fucking stop. That's the last cuss word I'm going to use. I like it. I have this tendency to be I'm here, and I'm not. I want to be here, leveled with whoever I talk to. Just here. And if I'm not leveled, I'm still here in this plane. This is who I am. This is where I am currently. We'll communicate. I'm not going to bring myself up, and I'm not going to lower myself down, because then I'm not being genuine. And I like that a lot. That's, something I'm starting to develop now. This is who I am. I'm not afraid, and I'm not trying to show anything. Conversation doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be that hard. It should just be normal, flow, easy, right? And if you have to work so hard, you're already thinking of what should I say next. And if you have to think, what should I say next? Well, then you're not being genuine. You're trying to get creative. And I don't think it should ever be creative now. I used to think that. How can I make myself sound good? You know, I never made myself sound good. And people are too nice to tell you, hey man, you sound like a fucking idiot. You know, they're just too nice to, you know, genuinely. They're gonna be nice. And then when you're done talking to them, you know, like you sit back and you wonder, why, man, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Like, if I could live my life, you know, in the future where I don't look back at a conversation and say, why did I say that? Versus everything I said I was meant to say. Even if it came off weird or wrong. I was meant to say it. And I'm okay with it. I don't have to work anything. I don't have to work through anything because of a conversation I had. You know, and I know what it is. It's deep rooted based on me having either a fear of people being, you know, accepting me, or a resentment. Maybe I'm upset, so I came off with some side out of the side of my neck kind of thing. You know, maybe I think I'm talking to somebody who's smarter than me, so I gotta try to be smarter than I actually am, and I end up sounding even dumber than I actually am. You know, like, no, I don't want to work so hard. I want to just flow. But, you know, I think what happens is I go through these things, and then somebody will say something, and then I learn, which is great, which is really good. So yeah, I mean, it's not just getting clean today, is it? It's also learning how I communicate, my body language, all of that stuff. Speaking my what I am without worrying, is this person going to like me? Is this person going to accept me? If they don't, they don't. And guess what? A hard pill to swallow for me was having to have everybody like me. I think what had to happen for me is everybody had to not like me for good reason. Like, all the things I was doing, what's likable about that? You know, you got kids at the house, they're downstairs. I'll leave it at that, because I try not to share the mess too much. Right? And it all starts with, you can't save your face and your ass at the same time. So I just stopped saving my ass. Oh, wait, I rephrased that. I just stopped saving my face. Started saving my ass. Do that enough times, and then it doesn't matter what your face, you know, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm going to continue to F up. I'm going to continue to fumble conversations, and I'm going to continue to work towards my personal development. Today's a great day, not because I'm just telling myself act as if, because I had such a good weekend and good meetings and everything, and I can't think of one thing that I said or did looking back at this weekend where I wish I would have. Well, other than the fact that, like, maybe I could have planned the bingo thing, but I'm glad it just popped into my head. It's a good idea. I'll have a year and, you know, almost a year, and I'll have a year and a half, and I think I'm going to start getting the work done once I have 1 year. So that bingo card will be on me, you know, and I got to figure out what number 49 is, because that was her age. So it'll be like G49 or whatever it is, and I think that's pretty cool. It's cool how these things just pop in my head, and I'm like, okay, so how's it gonna work? The dabber will be right on that. Anyways, lots of things that are to come. Wonderful day that's happening, and I feel good about myself today, and that's important, because that's really all I wanted before. Just wanted to be able to look in the mirror and not anything but just be good with myself. And today I feel like that. And so here I am, almost at work and ready to go, fired up and ready. And so I'm ready to go. And yeah, today's gonna be a good day, and I'm really excited. Oh, if you're wondering how I smell, I know that's a weird thing to say. That's my favorite. I'm just throwing a shot out. Okay, that was weird. Not wondering how I smell. This is my favorite cologne. I'll throw a shot out. See, I still got a lot to learn. That might have been for somebody. But anyways, there you go. Yeah, you're wanted, needed, and loved, and you're worth it. You got this. If I got this, you got this. We all got this. We can do this. Have a good day.